Alright, today we're going to be making a fire roasted poblano pepper and chicken risotto. So to start, take 3 green onions and we're going to want a small to medium dice on these. Then take the top of the green onions and dice this as well. We're just going to use it to garnish the risotto once finished so you can set it off to the side. Now get yourself some fresh Parmesan cheese and we're going to need about a half cup of this. Now to get those fire roasted poblano peppers, you can do this one of 2 ways. First, if you have a gas stove, you can turn on the flame to medium to high and then place the pepper directly on the grate. You can also turn your oven on to broiler mode and just get the peppers as close to the flame as possible. What we're looking for is to get the peppers completely charred on all sides, and then we're going to take the peppers, put them in a heat-proof bowl, and then place tinfoil over top and tent for about 5 minutes. While the peppers are resting, I'm just taking some chicken tenderloin here and seasoning with kosher salt, pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. Now that your peppers have finished resting, we're going to work to take off that charred outside exterior. Now, important thing to note is you're going to want to complete this while your peppers are still warm. It's going to be much easier, and to do this, just take a fork and scrape down the outside, getting as much of it as you can. After, you're going to remove the stem of the pepper and then we're going to discard all the seeds on the inside. Now for cutting the pepper, you can either do this in strips like I'm doing, or you can also dice it. Now for the risotto, we're going to need 4 cups of chicken broth, and important to note here is that you're going to want to keep this warm just before simmering, right next to the pot that you're going to complete your risotto in. Now in your large risotto pot, add a couple tablespoons of either olive oil or avocado oil, and then we're going to place those green onions directly in, and we're going to saute this for about 3 to 4 minutes until they're soft and turning translucent. Now you're going to add in 1 to 3 teaspoons of crushed red pepper, and this is really going to depend on how spicy you like your risotto. I went in the middle and did 2 teaspoons. Immediately after, you're going to add 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and this is going to give the risotto a great flavor but also a beautiful color. Stir that around and let saute for a few more minutes. Now you're going to add 1 cup of arborio rice, and we're going to give this a stir and allow it to toast for about 2 to 3 minutes. This is really important as it's going to give us that texture we're looking for in the risotto. After toasting, you're going to add in 1/3 cup of a dry white wine, and we're going to allow this to simmer for a few minutes until that alcohol is burned off and you can no longer smell it. Now we need to saute the poblano peppers, so in a large fry pan, just adding a little bit of olive oil and putting the peppers directly in, season with a little bit of kosher salt, and we're going to cook until softened. After the white wine is completed simmering, we're going to be consistently adding in about 1/4 cup of chicken broth to this risotto and constantly stirring. The most important part of making risotto is finding that balance in between having the rice getting too dry and also too soupy. That's why consistency is key, and you're going to want to be constantly stirring and paying attention. Returning to the peppers, you can see after only a few minutes that they've been completed, and then we're going to put this in a bowl and off to the side. After the peppers are completed, we're going to begin to sear our chicken. I'm using chicken tenderloin here, so a little bit of olive oil in the pan, and on medium high, we're going to sear these for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side. And just to note, I'm completing this when I have about half of my chicken broth left. It just gives the chicken enough time to cook and then rest before the risotto is completed. As we're adding in the chicken broth in small amounts at a time, your risotto is going to take in between 20 to 25 minutes to actually complete cooking. Now, if you get through your chicken broth and the rice is still a little bit crunchy, you can either add more water to this or create some more chicken broth and complete it then. Now don't taste for seasonings yet, as we're going to add in the poblano peppers directly into the risotto along with that half cup of Parmesan from earlier. Give it a stir until well melted, and then we can begin to taste for final seasonings with pepper and then a little bit of kosher salt. Now for presentation, I'm putting the risotto directly on the plate, and then we're going to slice our chicken, place directly on top, and then take our green onions from earlier and just sprinkle over the dish. And there you have it. Fire roasted poblano pepper and chicken risotto. If you guys like the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.